This is Stop Eating My Popcorn on Bizz 99.9 FM Substitute Radio. I'm Glenn Blank. Now we're going to be having a brief discussion about the director Tim Burton. Talking about, without focusing too much on any particular movie, trying to get a sense of him overall as a director in terms of his style, his technique, his philosophy about the world. So, the first thing that immediately comes to mind when I think of Tim Burton is he's very good at building up a world. So, if you were to apply the mice analysis to Tim Burton, where every story is either based on a milieu, an idea, a character, or an event, it's clear that Tim Burton is strongest in the M section. So he's wonderful at building up these unusual worlds which can feel confronting and unusual. Lots of strange things to see, lots of lights. Sometimes it's really flashing lights, other times it's really dark, gritty and grimy. And he's always able to bring you into this unusual world to make sure that the world has a consistent internal consistency, so it actually feels like it is a world that could exist. It's not something that's been artificially created for you to exist in or live in for a short time. But although the worlds that he creates are unusual, they do have a certain level of familiarity, so you can feel immersed inside of them. They're not so unusual and strange that you would feel repelled by them. And so he's very good at establishing this world and bringing you in, making you feel like you're a part of this world, which is an incredible ability to just establish an environment in such a consistent and comprehensive way. The second thing to say about Tim Burton is that I think he's very good at creating a lead character who is an eccentric, talented, weirdo male. So, first of all, in his Batman movie, he creates Batman and the Joker as these loners who are incredibly talented, who are misunderstood, who have entered into this rivalry with each other because they are two unique people in this otherwise colourless and drab and ugly world. And then Tim Burton takes it to the most extreme in the second Batman movie, Batman Returns, where he turns the Penguin into this grotesque monster who's this absurdity within Gotham City, and he becomes this freak show. You see this element also in Sweeney Todd and Edward Scissorhands and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. All of these movies, the lead character is a male figure who's an older adult who is wonderfully gifted in what he can do, but he's considered a weirdo and a freak by the outside world. And yet, through his ability to create things and perform, he's able to stand out above everyone else. And so there seems to be a duality where to be really talented, to stand above the pack of ordinary people, you have to be a weirdo and you have to be a bit of a freak. The next thing to say about Tim Burton is that his storylines, his plot devices, are very unusual. On the one hand, he doesn't like to follow the normal plot-driven style of movie where events are pushing forward more events, which are driving the characters to do more things, which eventually leads to the final finale battle between the different characters over who is going to win on the day. He likes to allow things to be much slower, to allow people to travel at their own pace through the miasma of his world. And the final battle only emerges when you suddenly clash into each other out of nowhere. Tim Burton has never been that interested in having comprehensively clear and well-defined plots. And when his movies are over, it's quite common for there to be an inconclusive or unsatisfying ending where you don't feel like you've gotten the full scope of what's just happened. That's not to say that he abandons completely the idea of plot. I mean, he still has a clear beginning, middle, and end. But Tim Burton never goes down the Spielberg route of having very, very strong plot lines. But on the other hand, he doesn't go down the David Lynch model where there is no plot line, there's no storyline, and it just becomes an assorted collection of random events in a bizarre system. The final thing that I'd like to say about Tim Burton is that he doesn't seem to have any unique or original ideas. most of the time he is trying to reinterpret or remake or redesign something that has already come into existence beforehand and try to reimagine it in a more freaky, eccentric, creepy and unusual way. So if you go through his filmography, most of what he's made are not unique creations. So the Batman movies, the Alice in Wonderland, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Planet of the Apes, James and the Giant Peach, and Catwoman. All of these are already established IPs, and he has simply taken them and remade them in his own particular style. And so the question is, does he actually have an idea or a worldview of his own which can be created from the ground up, rather than trying to reshape something that is already in existence? So this has been a brief discussion of Tim Burton as a director, trying to figure out his common tropes, his style, his personality, just so that we can get a general ballpark sense of who he is as a director overall. This has been Stop Eating My Popcorn, the movie review and discussion show on Bizz 99.9 FM Substitute Radio. I'm Glenn Blank. Join me again next time. Until then, goodbye.